Hello everyone, welcome you all to my YouTube channel. I am Megha. Today in the part 2 of chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants, I am going to cover microsporogenesis and pollen grain. So let's start this chapter, not chapter, this topic, that is microsporogenesis and pollen grain. In the previous chapter, we have seen the parts of the flower. Okay, calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Okay, individual part of androecium is called stamen. Stamen is also known as microsporophyll. Now if you see the structure of it, it looks like this: upper bilobed anther, and this is filament. Now as I said, bilobe means two lobes are there. This type of anther is called dithecus, and if only single lobe is present, then we call it a monothecous anther. Monothecous is the characteristic of the family Malvaceae. So this type of anther is present in the members of family Malvaceae. Now if you see at the back side of the anther, there is a sterile tissue which is known as connective. Okay, so back side connective tissue is present. This tissue have vascular bundles. You know the vascular bundles, xylem and phloem are present in the connective tissue. So if you cut the section of the anther, this is the, if you cut the TS of the anther, okay, if you cut it, you will see this type of structure. Now in this you will found 4 microsporangia, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 microsporangia, 2 in each lobe. This is one lobe and this is the second lobe. So there are total 4 microsporangia, 2 in each lobe. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now this is the connective tissue at the back side of the anther. Now if we talk about the layers of anther, then there are 4 layers. They are epidermis, endothecium, middle layers and then tapetum. Low means the fourth layer is the tapetum. Tapetum is generally nourishing layer. It helps in nourishing the microspores. Middle layers are around 2 to 5 in numbers. Epidermis is the outermost and the tapetum is the innermost. So these 4 layers are there. In at the inner means at the center you will found microspore mother cell. Okay, here in the center you can see these are the microspore mother cell, also called pollen mother cell, PMC or MMC means microspore mother cell as well as pollen mother cell. Now let's see the stages of anther development. So these all are the stages of in the anther development. In the young anther, when the anther is young, only epidermis is present. Now some cells become differentiated and they form archisporial cell. So at each corner you will found archisporial cell, isn't it? Now these archisporial cell then form parietal cell and primary sporogenous cell. Parietal cell give rise to these layers, anther walls, and sporogenous cell will form sporogenous tissue. Okay, sporogenous tissue is present in the center of each microsporangia. These sporogenous tissue will behave as a pollen mother cell. They have the potential to behave as microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell. Then these microspore mother cell will form microspore. Microspores then form pollen grains. I am repeating it again. Sporogenous tissue have the potential to behave as pollen mother cell. These pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell give rise to microspores. Okay, microspores then get separated and form pollen grains. Now let's see the walls of the anther. Outer one is the epidermis. In this figure, it is the enlarged view of microsporangia. 4 microsporangia are present. If we see enlarged view of one, you will find all the layers. Epidermis outer one, then second one endothelium, 2 to 3 middle layers, then tapetum layer. And in the center, microspore mother cells are there, which form microspores, and then pollen grains are formed. And as the anther matures, then these pollen grains are liberated in the air. Okay, these pollen grains are liberated, and you know from where the anther dehisces. This line of dehiscence is known as stomium. Okay, stomium is the place from where the anther dehisces, isn't it? So, as you know, that is sporogenous tissue will form microspore mother cell. Not it form it. It has the potential to behave like microspore mother cell, and these microspore mother cell will form microspores. Then microspores get separated and forms pollen grains. Now move on to the next one. Here you can see that microsporangium is surrounded by 4 layers: epidermis, endothelium, middle layers, and tapetum. Okay, already we have seen that. Now these 3 layers are protective in function and helps in anther dehiscence. Which 3? Epidermis, endothelium, and middle layer. Okay, they are protective layers and help in dehiscence of anther. Now if you talk about tapetum, tapetum is very important layer. It helps in nourishing the developing microspores or pollen grains. So this is the main function of this layer, nourishment. And it produces Ubiss bodies which are coated with sporopollenin to cause the thickening of the enzyme. Okay, Ubiss bodies are a very small acellular structure of sporopollenin, and these are present in the cells of tapetum, isn't it? Ubiss bodies are nothing but the acellular structure of sporopollenin. Now it also produces oily material called pollen kit. When you rub the pollens in between your fingers, you will find some oil gets stick to your fingers. This is nothing but pollen kit, which is produced by tapetum. Now one more function of tapetum is that it secrete a special protein which is very necessary for pollen to recognize the compatibility. So for example, this is the female part of the flower, okay, pistil. Now suppose the pollen lands on it. If this pollen is not compatible to this pistil, then it will not form the germ tube. Okay, germ tube will not form if it is not compatible. So compatibility is very necessary for pollen germination. It is done by the tapetum layer. It produces a special type of protein for pollen to recognize the compatibility. Now move on to next slide. When the anther is young, you have already seen that at the center sporogenous tissue occupy the space. Sporogenous tissue has the potential to behave as pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell and give rise, these microspore mother cell give rise to microspore tetrad by the process called meiosis. Okay, microspore mother cell undergo meiosis to form microspore tetrad. Now this shape is very common and is known as tetrahedral shape. Okay, tetrahedral shape and isobilateral shape. This is isobilateral. Okay, these two shapes are very common if we talk about microspore arrangement. This is the tetrahedral and this is isobilateral. Few more are there. This is linear and this one is T shape. Okay, so these are also there in some cases. So for example, in Asclepias you will find linear arrangement, whereas in Aristolochia you will see T type of arrangement of microspore tetrad. Okay, So what is microsporogenesis? It is nothing but the formation of microspore tetrad from microspore mother cell. So very important here is that one microspore mother cell will form how many microspores? It forms four. Four microspores are formed. Now these microspores get separated and form pollen grains. Okay, they get separated and develops into pollen grains. Now these pollen grains are released with the dehiscence of anther lobe walls. Okay, here you can see the stomium is the line of dehiscence. From here the pollen grains are released. Okay, now about the male gametophyte. So pollen formation, till pollen formation everything is clear to you. Again I am repeating that if you see the TS of the anther, you will see 4 microsporangia. Okay, 4 microsporangia are there. Inside the microsporangia, sporogenous tissue takes its place. This tissue has the potential to behave like microspore mother cell. Microspore mother cell will form microspore, then microspore develops into pollen grains. Okay, this is we have learned till now. Now we are talking about pollen grain, which is known as male gametophyte. Okay, pollen grain is the male gametophyte. Now it is a haploid structure, uninucleate and minute spore, and its shape is spherical. It has two-layered wall, which is called sporoderm. Okay, it is called sporoderm. Outer one, it is divided into two. Outer one is exine and inner one is entine. This is very important. Exine, outer one, inner one is entine. Exine is made up of a resistant material, that is sporopollenin. Sporopollenin is the most resistant organic material. This material cannot be degraded by any enzyme, any acid, any alkali, or at high temperature. So remember the name, sporopollenin is the highly resistant organic material. Now at some place it is absent and a prominent aperture is formed, which is called germ pore. In this image it is very clear that here and here prominent aperture is there, which is known as germ pore. At this place the sporopollenin is not present, or if present it is very thin. So from here only the germ tube arises. Okay, germ tube arises at that place where the sporopollenin is not present, and that place is known as the germ pore. Now if you talk about intine, it is very thin and it is composed of pectocellulose, means cellulose and pectin. Okay, exine is made up of sporopollenin, whereas intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Now as the pollen grain mature, it has two cells. One is generative cell and the other one is the vegetative cell. Vegetative cell is very larger and has abundant reserve food and has a large irregular nucleus, whereas the generative cell is smaller and is spindle in shape and it floats in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. See this image. This is the generative cell which is floating in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. Vegetative cell is also called tube cell and its nucleus is irregular, isn't it? So generative cell is smaller and it floats in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. So here are two cells. Generally, the pollen grains are shed at two cell stage when they have one vegetative and one generative. In most of the cases, this happens, but in some cases, exception is always there. In some cases, this generative cell divide mitotically and give rise to two male gamete before the pollens are shed. So, in some cases, it shed at three cell stage. Here you can see that one vegetative cell is there and two generative cell. So here this is a pollen which has three cell stages. In some cases it's shed at this stage. Okay. Now pollen grains are rich in nutrients. They are eaten as supplements in the form of tablets or in the form of syrups because they are very rich in nutrients. Now pollen grain of some species cause severe allergies and respiratory problems. For example, Parthenium. Okay, it enters through nose and cause severe allergies as well as bronchitis problem, respiration problem. Now once the pollen grain are shed, it has to land on the stigma before they lose its viability. After some time, the pollen grains loses its viability and it is of no use then. Okay, as for example, wheat pollen. Wheat pollen loses its viability after 30 minutes. So it has to land within these minutes, otherwise it loses its viability. If you talk about the study of pollen grain, it is called palynology. Palynology is the study of pollen grains. So this is till now. Let's see what we have learned till now. In the first part, we have seen four walls of the flower: calyx, corolla, endoecium and gynoecium. Now about 3M, microsporophyll, microsporangium and microsporogenesis. These 3M, you have to learn these 3M and please don't be confused. Microsporophyll means stamen. It is nothing but a stamen which contain microsporangium. Okay, learn that stamen is known as microsporophyll. Now inside the stamen, if we cut the section of anther, you will see microsporangium are there. 4 microsporangium in Dithecus anther. Okay, these sporangium contains microspores. So these sporangium is known as microsporangium, which contains microspores. Now the formation of microspores from the microspore mother cell. Formation of microspores from the microspore mother cell is called microsporogenesis, isn't it? Hope it is clear to you. Now this microsporangium is surrounded by 4 layers. They are epidermis, endothecium, middle layers and the tapetum, which is the nourishing layer. Pollen grains has 2 layers. Outer one is exine, which is made of sporopollenin, and inner one is intine, which is made up of cellulose and pectin. Then about pollen grains are shed, the pollen grains has 2 cells. Larger is vegetative cell and the smaller one is the generative cell. Generative cell floats in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. Generally, the pollens are shed at 2 cell stage. In some cases, they shed at 3 cell stage. So this is all about for today. Thank you for watching my lecture. Now there is one question for you. You have to tell the ploidy of microspore mother cell. You have to tell whether it is haploid, diploid, tetraploid, triploid, whatever. The answer is, please add it in the comment box. I want your valuable feedback. Please give your feedback and subscribe to my channel if you like my lectures. Thank you.